Hey guys, it's KoDoRiN, and I want to talk about my run at Smash Camp 2022, giving a little bit of my personal insights and journey of what it took to win this event. I consider Smash Camp to be a tournament of obstacles that I somehow, out of my ass, I just pulled out the W here and there. And I guess I kind of just feel like giving a little bit of my insight. I guess a little inspired by Moki's video. And yeah, I think I should do the same thing as well with big victories like that. I think it's my biggest win to this day. So yeah, let's talk about it a little. And I guess I want to start off with a little bit of context of day two, where it was just pools. And a little background of my story is that you guys, you can feel free to laugh and cringe. It's like, oh, he's so innocent. But I'm starting to put myself a little bit out there. I've been in the dating scene for a little bit. For like the past month, I've been meeting up with this one girl that I really liked for like the last few weeks, and I thought we were kind of getting into it. Like the third week, we actually she actually initiated the kiss, and I was like, oh wow, like maybe this relationship is actually gonna get somewhere. That was 3 days before the event, and I thought I enjoyed her company. I thought she enjoyed mine. And then literally during day two of the event, she sent me like a whole wall of text explaining why she thinks our relationship won't work. And in the moment, I was like, oh, what the fuck, dude? I was heartbroken. I felt like my world was just crumbling when I saw that. Like during the event, I was smiling. I was like, "Oh yeah, Smash Camp, so cool." And inside, I was crying, dude. I was like, "Oh, I don't feel like playing Melee." And I was talking to some people about it, and I'm relatively new. It's at least fine that it's actually a good thing that she called it off now, as opposed to if we got in too seriously. But while I knew all the logical reasons why I shouldn't feel that bad, it's just like, dude, like, how do you kiss someone and then a couple days later call it off through a text when like during like a really really big day? It was like, oh, dude. If you want to make a pro gamer mad, you do that. Just make them do all of that and then tell them during a big tournament. It's like, oh yeah, I actually don't like you. Go away. That was basically, that was a big obstacle. Where I really did not feel like competing in Melee at that time. I think you might have even seen it. It's a good thing I was wearing a mask during my sets versus Squid and Zamu, where if there wasn't a mask, you would be concerned that like I did not look happy at all. Like behind that mask, I was frowning, I was grouchy kind of, and my heart wasn't really into it. But I showed up anyways because Melee is kind of my job at this point. And I know some strategy of winning. Like I had the game plans, I had my 50-50s ready in case I wasn't on point. And I could tell I just was not on point because I did not care to win, during that little breakup. Like I kind of just, I lost my sense of self a little, where like I did not know why I was playing. So that was like a huge mental obstacle that like I just did not know how to process. I kind of assumed if I slept it through to day three, I could do a little better. Like maybe I would have processed it fine by then, but very clearly, versus Squid, there's like some very, very crucial edge guards and positions that like I know I should not be messing up. And versus Zamu, I was just letting him kill me so ridiculously early, and like, oh, I wasn't respecting some of his W holding, and I was just not super on point, I'd say. And while I kind of I did end up busting out some strategies. You know, I've prepared C and D games in case I'm not playing that well, but like the feeling of when I ended up clutching the Zamu set, like I was not happy. I was not happy, and it was because, like, you know, breakups like that hurt. Like, you know, again, you guys could laugh. I am relatively new to this, but it doesn't change how I feel. Where like I legitimately did not want to be there at all, let alone compete and put my worth on the line, essentially. But luckily, what helped me overcome that sort of mental block was that I realized that my next opponent, Spark, is so, like, I cannot play my C game versus him or else I would just insta lose. And I realized that, like, something needed to change. And that something was actually this meditation group that I've been a part of for, like, the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the last month-ish, that I've been visiting daily if I can. And the basic premise of that meditation group is that it really focuses on the present moment. Because if you think about it, the present moment is what is actually true. What we're experiencing right now is the most true, beautiful thing that is happening right now. The past, while it is important to acknowledge and is documented, and you know, there's some degree of karma, the images that we attach towards it is not real. The past is not real, essentially. And also, we're ridiculously bad at predicting the future. Like, we really put too much stock and anxiety and worries to the future when we're not even right majority of the time. So therefore, also not real most of the time. And what we can actually say with 100% certainty is real is right now. And that's why focusing on the present moment is some of the most important things that you could be doing right now. You know, me kind of feeling bad about the breakup, that's kind of me holding on to the past, which is not real. And some of the meditation exercises that I've been doing daily is kind of getting rid of those pictures because it's not real. The images of the past is not real. Whereas like right now is like a beautiful real thing. And what I was basically doing after I was waiting in winter semis was I got an hour. I just went back to my cabin and I meditated a little, where I was just trying to throw away images of, you know, my relationship and just focus that I am playing a beautiful game called Super Smash Bros. Melee, competing to be the best in the world, overcoming all the obstacles. And if I can't overcome it, see what I could take away and learn from. That's always a satisfying feeling for me, and I should never forget that because that's just who I am. So I was able to gain a little bit of self back from that quick meditation. And as I finished after, like, you know, 30 minutes of kind of letting go of the attachment and images from that relationship, I was able to focus in the present moment a lot better. And I felt like I was more prepared to take on Spark. However, the tourney kind of ran a little delayed in many aspects. I mean, first of all, it's in a freaking camp, so it's like in Arizona, so it's pretty cold for one. That doesn't do me very much favors. Secondly, since it kind of ran a little late, since they had to restart the Wii's because like Slippy was desyncing with their like subpar internet, so like they had to do that, and therefore it kind of delayed things really long. So that kind of like messed with like my optimal body functions of just like playing consistently well. I actually thought I was playing really, I felt like I was actually executing the game plan like really well for my expectations. My expectations is that like I'm like 70% there in a Sheik matchup right now. I didn't really expect to beat Spark with that 70%, but as I was playing game one, I was like, holy moly, I can actually beat this guy. And I did beat him. And I was like, well, actually, maybe my game plan is actually good enough. And what was happening throughout the set is that I started to just miss a lot of execution stuff. And it's like, damn, like, I know this game plan is good, but like, just like little things that you just cannot afford to miss versus Sheik. And as I was missing things, I also started to break a little, and as I started to break, I threw game 3 so hard. That FD game where I was up like 3 stocks to 1, I was just missing things, and I started to break first. And if Martha breaks first versus Sheik, he generally tends to lose. And as I was falling apart, I was a little upset, and I remembered, you know, I think what also helped me from that meditation exercise is to just ignore the ego and do the Zane, which is immediately look at your losses and see what you did wrong. So you just ripped off the bandage as when it hurts the most, so then you can learn the most from it. And as I look back, it's like, oh, these are all the mistakes I made. All right, not making the same mistakes later on. And what I started to do, because I knew that my execution was an issue, I just ran around the venue. Because when you hype your body, when you feel like your body is a little off, maybe due to nerves or because it's a little apathetic, then just run around a little, so then you kind of gain a little bit of energy. You kind of hype yourself up a little, and as you hype yourself up a little, then your execution starts to increase. Like, it won't maybe be consistently good, but you could kick it to overdrive a little. And that's what I was basically doing throughout the tourney, is I was trying to kick myself to overdrive when it really mattered. You could see it throughout my set versus Suf, Albert, and all my sets where I was basically playing very off. I mean, the tourney started at like 1 p.m. and I was playing constantly until like 10:30 or something. Like, it ran pretty late. So of course I can't play consistently well the entire time, especially since like I was basically eating, like, they provided like a vegan sandwich that was not good, but at least it was healthy, and like a granola bar, and basically I was basically running off of adrenaline and no dinner essentially. And that's why my execution was flip-flopping in between during like my Suf set, my Albert set, my run back versus Spark and SFAT, where yeah, I'd say I'm proud of the moments where I was able to kick it to overdrive. And I could also tell that majority of my opponents were also playing pretty bad, since, you know, they're stuck in a similar condition to me. It was a matter of me kind of holding on just a little longer than all my opponents I found. Because, hey, we're all stuck in its bad same conditions, and it was a matter of me kind of accepting what was going on and making the most out of it. Because winning in tournaments and being good in Melee are two very different skill sets that I found out early on. You know, kind of draws back to my roots of like whenever I asked PPMD after my first year competing, I was like, hey, I'm getting nervous. How do I get over this? And that's when I implicitly knew that competing and getting good at the game are two different skills. And I think overall, like, I think I was just better at preparing for tournaments than like pretty much everyone else when it came down to it. Because yeah, they're all also stuck with lack of dinner, whatever internal turmoil that they're going through, in like game plans and adjusting that. I just kept holding on and on and on throughout my entire losers run. I think it kind of reached this climax when I was playing against Spark, where I thought that set, man, I thought it was gonna be over when I was like down a game and I was down in the FD game. I was like, damn, I don't know if I have what it takes. Even though like I watched that set and knew what I did wrong, it just felt like I was breaking a little bit more often until I made that comeback game 2, where he missed some edge guard against me, and I was able to get a neat little reversal. I was like, oh my god. One detail I forgot to add is that I was playing Duck a little bit, and he told me that like one thing that I could really improve upon versus Sheik is my defense. And I also took that into consideration. I think that might have played a big role in my comeback versus Spark. And the entire time I was thinking, don't break. Do not break first. If Mart breaks first versus Sheik, he loses. Let the Sheik come to me, pressure her a good amount, Make necessary plays when you are very certain, but let the sheet come to me. Don't break first. And I'd say that the big difference between my FD game and the first set is that I broke first. That's why he was able to make a comeback, and that's how he was able to dictate the pace. Versus my 3-stock lead on Dreamland, even though it's a way worse stage from Marth, I was not breaking first. I was maintaining my ground. I was making smart decisions. I got outplayed here and there, but I was not breaking first. I was making Spark do all the coming straight at me. And oh yeah, that was the first time I've been in a Sheik in a hot minute. My worst matchup? Yeah, you know, there's a reason why I've been working on this for so long. And after beating Spark, I was like a huge sigh of relief. Like, I felt like I already won the tournament at that point, but I knew it was not over yet. And I got SFAT to face, which surely nobody could beat SFAT 7 times in a row, right? It was weird. Like, SFAT's controller just didn't work half the time. He was just killing himself, making weird decisions, not trusting his ledge dashes. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll 0 to death you and catch you in some spots. And did pretty well, I'd say. I mean, it's a shame that like I actually felt pity for him in set 2 of game 1 because like he was very clearly stuck in his dash stance. I was like, are you okay, SFAT? And then he hit me and killed me. And it's like, that's what I get for giving pity to my opponents. But regardless, again, it just, I don't know. I just felt like I just held on a little bit longer than my opponents each and every set. And because I was able to hold on, hang on just a little longer, not have a broken controller, I was able to win it. And that was just an exhausting tourney because Smash Camp, you know, it ain't like a it ain't a ballroom with a nice vented no moth cruising of a tournament. It was just a fucking cabin that had a bunch of CRTs lying around. And when you're presented with that kind of conditions, it's really just a matter of like grit, hanging on, and just believing that you can win. And I'd say the meditation helped big time for that, where I was able to remember why I was playing Smash Melee, competing and holding on, never letting go, not even for like a brief moment. Well, okay, I did think for a brief moment I would lose to Spark, but when it actually mattered, I actually like kept trying my absolute hardest, because if it wasn't for the meditation, I definitely would have lost the tournament. I would have like I would have probably lost against Soof, where like, oh man, the crowd definitely was not on my side. For, you know, understandable, I'm the favorite, they want to see their boy win, and if I didn't have that grit, I would have definitely fell apart. And I'm proud of myself for being able to hold on. I think that's like a really good sign for my mentality moving forward for every future Smash tournament, where like the reason why I've been underperforming at Summit, World Tour, and LCS4 is because I've been, ever since it got picked up, I've went through like a huge stress of like, man, I am so afraid of letting down my sponsor. And like, because I never really played for other people before, and that like really messed up my mindset and like made me perform worse in my bad matchups like Sheik and Peach even more. It's like, damn, like because of that stress, I feel like that made me underperform more than I should have. And after doing some significant mental work after those tourneys, I feel like moving forward with when more majors open up and I have more of a shot to beat the top dogs where I'm not necessarily the first seed, you know, Genesis, Summit, World Tour, other majors, I'm gonna play with my intentions. The reason why I play, it's to put everything to the test that I've learned and win.